being an artist can be a selfish life. It doesn't sound great when you say that, but it's where, I mean, your heart can be many places, but it determines it. And I will find myself, or I've been called out on being in a really foul mood sometimes, and it won't be by any of the outside elements around me. It'll be directly because I'm not happy with the way a painting's going, and I will carry that into other aspects of my life. And it can be unfair to other people, but we can be those moody artists sometimes. Even with the simplest painting, if it's not working, I'll be grumpy. Or when I finish a painting, I'm happy with it, that joy will come out. You know, it will absolutely be there, and that will show. And people will say, you know, oh, you're looking good, you're in a happy mood, you're kind of bouncing a little bit, and it's because you had success with something that you created. I'm Michael Guinane. I consider myself a contemporary realist painter. Went to the Columbus College of Art and Design. I studied illustration, actually, but just kind of moved more towards taking control of my own work and painting what I was really passionate about, as opposed to too much being told what to paint. Paint all different subjects from different places. I like to have that variety, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to continue doing that. I was blessed growing up as getting lots of opportunities to try many different things, and things started just kind of falling to the wayside, one to the next and the next, but art just stuck there. And then I was very supported by family, by educators, and having those opportunities, and I realized I just had a passion for it. I do like traveling just around the United States a lot. I loved going to France and being inspired there. Cuba, another fantastic place. Iceland, if you want to feel like painting landscapes, that's the place to go. I mean, there's places I have returned to more and more, and one of those is Maine. Try to paint there, and sometimes just go travel there and find the inspiration as opposed to even just working there. I grew up on water on Lake Michigan. You could see it from my parents' house, but then you go to Maine and you just see these landscapes and these different kind of, I don't know, the different atmospheres that you see there, and just these beautiful rocky shores and the ocean, which can be absolutely beautiful and absolutely terrifying. And it gives you, depending on your mood or what you really are feeling, and sometimes it tells you what you're going to be feeling that day too. My first time there, I just sit on rocks and just put some paint over here and then dip your brush into the ocean water, or like a little Tide Pod. And the colors there, those greens and blues, and then the powerful waves just hitting. I'm a big fan of the raging seas and fog and intensity of it. That's what inspires me, and that's what I like painting, not just for the storytelling aspect of it, but it's fun for me to paint. I would take a landscape that I saw, that I had memories of. I would add figures into it where you don't quite know what's going on, and everyone will interpret that in a different way, which I find fascinating. And I love to hear people's interpretations of that. And depending on who they are and what their story is behind them, which I don't know, but you'll get some people that will be like, oh no, they've lost a child. Other people will say, oh, they're waiting for a fairy. Other people will just be like, oh, they're in an argument, they're in a fight. And there's no right answer. And even I, specifically, for a lot of these, don't have a specific answer, even in my own head. Some I do, but others, I just create a scene depending on my mood at the time. For me, it can even change, and what it means and how deep it can be. Angry, stressed, I think that comes out in some of these works, but I have an idea in my head, but then the work itself takes time. It's a slow development, so I do stop painting some works for a while, and I have to leave them on the side, and I'll come back to them later on when I get back to that kind of state of mind. Not often. I can't think of too much off the top of my head of a moment where I was like, people better be thinking about, this. And if they don't get it right, then I'm upset. And they just don't get it. There's no just not getting it with my work. It's I put it out there for the viewer, and I take what I take from it, and they can take what they take from it. And every once in a while, I will change a painting in the middle of it and totally change the mood. And I was like, you know what? I thought this was going to be a happy, summer day kind of painting. And I'm like, I'm going to change this into something a little bit deeper and darker. And that happens. Not often, because I usually have an idea in my head of how it's going to finish. But every once in a while, I will change a painting right in the middle because I think maybe I was misinterpreting my idea.